What's going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Dale, and today we're going to talk about a new used car that I recently picked up. Now, unfortunately, I deleted my intro by accident, so if you see me wearing something else in this video, that is because I had to reshoot this intro. With that out of the way, let's kick things off with today's video. So I know you must be wondering what's going on. I just bought a new EV. Why all of a sudden another used car? Well, to be honest, I needed a car to, of course, commute to the GO train, and my wife also needed a car to commute to work as well. She suggested that we be super accessible to our little one, just in case we get a phone call. So here we are with a new used vehicle. Let's take a look. This is my new used 2012 BMW X1 xDrive 28i. Now, right off the bat, what really captured me about this car is the color. This is the bronze metallic finish, and honestly, you don't see this color that often here in Toronto roads. Secondly, this model has very low mileage for its 2012 year, and out of all the BMW X1s that I saw on the marketplace and of course the Kijiji auto market, they were all beat up. They had a lot of scratches, they had a lot of dents, and these people had the audacity to ask me for their asking price, which is insanely high. This car, in my opinion, was owned by a quote-unquote enthusiast. I'll get to that a little bit later on, but it was well looked after in terms of cosmetic wise. And when I first saw the car, he got it detailed, he washed it, the engine bay was detailed as well, and it just presented very well. Some things that I really enjoyed about this car is how nimble it is and how small and compact, but and yet capable of carrying a family of 4, and of course a good amount of trunk space. Right off the bat, this was a very familiar platform for me, since I, as a BMW enthusiast, have been a BMW driver for most of my driving career. This has all the options that I could ever want for an X1. It has the connected iDrive, it has a nice sports steering wheel, and of course it has a nice interior as well. It comes with 17-inch alloy rims, not your typical steely wheelies, and it has a really nice color combination for the interior. So let's take a look. Welcome to my interior of the E84 X1. Now, right off the bat, you are greeted with a sport steering wheel with multimedia buttons, and of course you have the nice black dash, followed by the wood trim and the main attraction, which is the beige interior. Now, this is definitely a little bit far-fetched from what I'm currently used to, which is a black sporty interior with leather accents. This, however, is more of an executive business type of vibe. It's the type of vibe where you would take this car to a 9-to-5 job, and then this would be also double as a fun weekend drive. The interior is spotless. When I picked this car up, it was definitely very presentable. I met with the previous owner. He got it nice and detailed, didn't try to hide any blemishes or flaws, and I was enamored. I was enticed, and I just felt comfortable apart from all the other people that I met for the X1. The other BMW X1 owners that I met that was selling their X1, inside they had like cups randomly placed everywhere. They had garbage, they had dusty dashes, they had sticky gear knob shifters and everything. It was just wasn't a good look. This has all the bits and pieces. They had the OBD cover, they had the child lock covers on, and nothing was missing. Even the cargo cover was included. A lot of the X1s that I saw, they were missing that privacy cargo cover that comes with the car. Safe to say, I definitely felt that this was the winning X1 out of all the X1s that I took a look at. But of course, there are a lot of hidden damages or hidden things that are flawed on BMWs that you don't really see, and I, as a first-time used car buyer, made that mistake. Let's go back to my office so that I could share my experience. Welcome back to my office, and let's dive right into my recent purchase of a pre-owned BMW X1. While it's not without its flaws, my enthusiasm for BMW sometimes just gets the better of me, and I think I may have jumped the gun on this one. I think the initial hiccup was that the safety features had expired on the very day that I went to get plates and a new permit. That means I had to get this recertified for safety at another shop that I'm probably not familiar with. Fast forwarding a little bit, once I took the car to a shop, the car was hoisted up and it just unveiled a unpleasant surprise. Right before my eyes was a plethora of surface rust on certain components of the vehicle, such as some suspension and control arms, and it was just a mess. And needless to say, I couldn't help but just kind of like shake my head on how someone can neglect a car like that to the point where it's just baked on road salt and rust. It seemed to me that the car was barely washed during the winter months and just was left neglected all this time. The mechanic did notify me that the rotors, pads, and shocks needed to be replaced due to the fact that the shocks were kind of leaking, and he definitely wanted me to tend to that right away. I haven't been to this shop before, so I don't know if he was pulling my leg or not when he told me that the rear parking brakes needed to be changed too. The rear parking brake shoes, that is. He told me that one side was broken and only one side was engaging. And at this point, my heart did sink a bit. I can't believe a BMW X1 that presented so well upon inspection just kind of looked really bad when you look deeper inside of what's really going on. Long story short, I did manage to get a safety and a new vehicle permit. After that, I quickly placed orders for new rotors, new pads, new rear shocks, but I kind of held off on the rear brake shoes just because I didn't know if that mechanic was lying to me or not. When the parts finally came in, I took all the parts that I recently purchased and I did a DIY with my uncle and friend. And when we took all the rotors and pads off in the rear, and I just couldn't believe on how poor this car was maintained. I saw a lot of surface rust on a lot of different components, and I tried my best to use my wired brush to clean it all off as best as possible. And to follow up on that, the rear parking brake shoes are in fact broken and non-functional. So if you know any places to order new parking brake shoes, please comment down below and shoot it my way, because I definitely need a helping hand on this one. But despite all the hiccups for this BMW X1, I still have a strong affection for this car. I think it's mainly because all these repairs can be done myself, and of course it's kind of like familiar territory for me. Of course, this car promises new content for you and a valuable lesson for me, given the fact that this was my first time purchasing a new used vehicle. So there you have it, guys. This was my poor experience buying a new used X1. Like I said, it looked really good on the outside and on the inside, but when you look deeper into the components of the vehicle, it gave me a very rough surprise. And if you haven't already done so, please like, share, comment, and subscribe to my channels. I'm almost at 10K for TikTok and Instagram. Comment down below your experiences with the used car market, and if you have ever experienced anything bad like this. I'm probably missing some points that I wanted to share, but until then, see you next time.